holistic or be more natural with their lifestyle. So if you have digestive problems, you don't necessarily have to always get the OTC, which is the over-the-counter. We like to get to the base of the problem because digestive problems are horrible. I started having digestive problems like in my late 30s, like mid to late 30s. I started having digestive problems, and I didn't like it. I didn't like taking the Peptos. I didn't like taking the Gas-X. I didn't like to do all of that. And it just seemed that at one point, it didn't matter what I did, my gut just was not working, you know, and it makes your life very miserable. First and foremost, when you're not digesting your food, you know, you're not getting the nutrients, your hair is going to start to not grow, or it's going to start to get thin. Your skin is going to start to suffer because of your lack of digestion. Your brain, you're going to start getting brain fog. You're not going to be able to remember things and things like that. So digestion is really serious because it's not just about how we eliminate. It's also about how we absorb our nutrients. So we're taking all of these supplements today, and I take quite a few myself, but you really want to, thank you so much for the donations. You really want to start getting your nutrients from your diet. You know, if you're a person who eats a lot of fruits and vegetables and you're pretty much healthy, but you know, you're eating healthy, but yet you're still not reaping the rewards, you have digestive problems. I've tried all kinds of eating fads, keto, veganism, low carb, you know, all meat, I mean, I've tried it all, and it was just not working, okay? So this is the thing. Stress is a huge contributor to your body not digesting. Who in here is stressed out? Anybody? If you are stressed out, go ahead and put up a number 79 if you are stressed out. Me? I mean, yeah, I have a very, very busy lifestyle. I'm a wife, family, caregiver, you name it. I'm a perfectionist. And stress just over time will make you just loopy, make you not a good mother, not a good wife, not a good daughter, not a good son. It just makes you crazy. And so what I've learned is you have to get your stress levels down. I actually take herbs to do that, because now that I am 40, I'm not able to, like, I don't really take the time out to necessarily just meditate all day, or I'm not able to just go and walk through the park. I'm not able to sleep all day. I have to basically get up and work. When my feet hit the ground, it's work time. And I have a 12-hour, roughly about a 12-hour work day every day. So you do the math. I was like, that's 94 hours, if I'm not mistaken. 12 times 7 is, my goodness, what's 12 times 7? 14, 1, 7, 84 hours a week. The average person works 40 hours a week. I work 84 hours because I have several jobs. I don't know if anybody in here is a caregiver, but caregiving is a job in and of itself. Then I'm away. Then I have to do other things. So literally I am just always working. And with that being said, I had to incorporate a lot of natural things in my life, herbs, supplements. You know, I had to change my diet. Very, very much so, okay, and to compensate for my gut not working correctly. Okay, so really, if you give your body the right conditions, okay, if you give your body the right conditions, notice I didn't say the food, because it doesn't matter what you eat. If you are having digestive problems, it doesn't matter if you eat lettuce. Your body is going to lock up, and it's not going to digest it, and you're going to have issues, okay? So I had to give my body the right conditions. I have to rest. I have to take my stress herbs, and there's so many out there. If you want to learn that, please join my group and go to the link tree. I can help you with that. And that's basically what I had to do. I had to basically get that stress down. Whatever is affecting you, just understand, like, stress comes from how we look at things. So if you look at everything, like I even looked at work as a stress. I had to change my mindset on that. This is my art. I had to look at it. This is my art. I looked at it like, oh my gosh, I'm neglecting my business. I'm neglecting the people who watch me. I am neglecting my family when I worked. I had such a negative connotation on what I do, which caused me more stress. So I had to change my mindset. To change your mindset, you have to give yourself nutrition. And it's not just food nutrition. You have to read better. You have to hang around better people. You have to treat yourself better. I mean, just to get that nutrition to the point where you feel like, oh, I can do the things that I need to do to properly heal my body. So that's what I had to do. I had to just learn how to look at things differently. So that's what I'm going to tell you. If you're at work right now, who in here dreads to go to work every day? Anybody? I know sometimes I do. It's human nature. But dreading to go to work every day is causing you stress. It's going to cause you not to eat the proper foods. It's going to cause you not to get the proper sleep. You have to change the way you look at things that you do on a daily. You have to work to eat. Look at it like that. If you didn't have a job, you wouldn't be able to do what you're doing right now, which is watching this video. You wouldn't be able to feed yourself nor your family. You wouldn't be able to do the things that you need to do. You wouldn't be able to get the things that you need as far as clothing and things like that. So look at your job, no matter what you're doing. It is a stepping stone to get you to the next plateau. That's how you should look at it, because jobs nowadays, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So if you have a job, be thankful for that. Be grateful. I don't know if the word thankful or grateful, I don't know, you know, people kind of interchange those words, but I really do think they mean different. Be grateful for being able to provide for yourself and your family. Okay, food-wise, guys, let's talk about it. We cannot go to food and think that it is therapy. Can't go to food and think it's therapy. You have to look at food as medicine. So if you're a person who, after you've eaten a meal, you feel bloated, how does that make you feel? It makes you feel horrible. I've been through it. Stomach feels bloated. You're not able to function. Digestion is our second brain. Thank you so much for the donations. It is our second brain. If you're not digesting well, it affects what you think. So if you're eating a lot of processed foods, if you're eating a lot of salty foods, there's a difference. Processed foods, salty foods, a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, a lot of bad food. How are you thinking? Another thing, a lot of people feel like, depending on what type of money you make, depicts on what you can eat. There is a healthy way of eating in every budget. Look at yourself as an investment. If you feel like eating cheap food is going to save you money, it may save you money in the short run, but it will not save you money in the long run. I had to tell myself that years ago. I was in a place where we only was eating hot dogs and oodles and noodles, not putting it down. There's a step to life. But I told myself, because of the way that my body reacted to that diet, and I'm going to tell you how I reacted. My digestion locked up. My monthly cycles became really, really, really heavy. I didn't like how it made me feel. And so I said, you know what? I will never eat like this again. It didn't matter how bad in life I was going to get. I said I will not eat oodles or noodles anymore, and I'm not going to eat hot dogs. And that was at least 12 plus years ago. I just said that I am not going to eat like this anymore. And I don't know who that's for, because a lot of people feel like eating healthy is expensive. Not eating healthy is expensive. Okay? If you actually put it in your budget to eat more fruits and vegetables, you would feel better. First and foremost, all of those negative vibes that you're giving yourself because of the bad foods that you're eating will start to dissipate. Dissipate means to go away. When you're eating bad foods, you're going to think bad thoughts. The way that God made our bodies, He made it to put good, healthy foods. He made rules too. You have to read the Word to actually know the rules of what we're supposed to eat. You know, a lot of us, we go against what we're supposed to eat. A lot of foods that we eat on an everyday is holiday food. Meaning you eat it once in a blue moon, not every day. Like cheeseburgers and fries and pizza and all of that. That is not something you should eat daily. What you should eat daily is things that are going to be easily broken down. One thing I don't do, I don't eat red meat. I stopped eating red meat a long, long time ago. I tried to pick it back up. Thank God I had that inkling in 2003 to stop eating beef and pork. I picked it back up in 2017. I started to get health conditions that I didn't want, and I stopped it again. A lot of people do not basically place the two together of what we eat affects our health. Get what I'm saying? So if you have digestion problems, the first thing, in my opinion, because red meat takes so long to digest, stop eating red meat. Okay? Even if I wanted, and even if I wanted a piece of red meat, I think about how my gut would react. And I said, you know what? I'm not putting it in there. Because at this moment, at my age, because I don't eat meat, I don't produce a lot of acids. Let me educate you on how the stomach is made up. Our body produces the acids and the bacteria according to what we eat. So a lot of us, we put vegetables and meat together, which is fine, but just understand that our acids that are produced for meat are not the same for vegetables. So you really can't mix the two. It's like, it's either, I mean, really technically, it's either you're going to be vegan, or either you're going to be low carb or whatever. It's tough to sit there and eat a piece of beef with some greens and expect your body to understand what you want it to do. And so that's another reason why we have digestive problems, is because our gut is kind of confused, if you will. So I just do a plant, like I just try my best to eat mostly vegetables. Okay, I eat salads, I eat squash, I eat Brussels sprouts, I eat broccoli, cauliflower. I try to eat things like that. And I fill up on vegetables, and then I eat meat. When I was younger, I would eat more meat than vegetables. Bad combination. Fiber is your friend. So if you have digestive problems, fiber is definitely your friend. You need to eat fiber. You can get your fiber from your fruits. You can get them from your vegetables. Ladies, bread is okay in small doses. And this is to my ladies who are having a lot of problems with odors and infections, especially yeast infections. Yeast infections comes from a lot of yeast that we eat, and yeast is in bread. I don't know who that's for. So I've gotten like maybe 2 or 3 yeast infections. No, two infections in my life in 40 years, 2 yeast infections. And at both times when I had yeast infections, I had 2 things that was going on. I had a lot of stress, and I was eating crud. Because stress is number one. Stress is going to cause you to eat bad foods. So basically, I had to cut down. And I don't even eat bread like the regular bread. If it has a commercial, I don't really eat that bread. I can't do the gluten. So I do sourdough bread, and I limit the amount of bread that I eat. I'm not saying don't eat bread. I'm just saying just understand that bread is a huge contributor to yeast infections. So if you have a lot of yeast infections and you're listening to this video, lower your bread intake. Also, I do a lot of olive oil. I do olive oil. Slow down on all of your butters and your bad fats and your mayos and things like that. Those things will contribute to gut issues. You know what I mean? Incorporate some probiotics in your life. That's one thing I have done. I am not able to do the traditional probiotics like the yogurts because I don't really like the dairies like that. You know, they teach us that dairy is so good for you and it helps with your gut. But if you have other problems like this, I'm going to name them off. PCOS, endometriosis, any kind of hormonal imbalances, if you're having issues with your liver, things like that, you really want to slow down on all of the things that causes issues in your hormones. What were you saying about gluten? I wasn't saying anything. Please don't cut me off. I'm 40 years old. I have digestion issues. And I don't remember what I said 3 minutes ago. Thank God videos are being made that you can actually rewind, fast forward, and stop. Okay, so don't ask me what I said about gluten. If you really wanted to know a question, just say, Jenna, I saw that you were talking about gluten. Can you be more specific? I didn't say anything about gluten. So don't be phony asking me what you say. You know darn well I ain't say nothing, girl. You just want me to go more within it. And then I'm going to ask you to pay for that information because obviously you have a gluten intolerance. And that's another thing, guys. In life, if you don't be straightforward with people, the first place that it attacks is your gut. I'm 40 years old now. I am not holding back. Now, I'm not going to cuss people out. I'm not going to disrespect you. But I'm going to let you know, if I don't like what you said to me, you're going to know it. And I mean that with all due respect. I hate that I had to use that young lady as an example. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's life. You know, if I had held that in, I would be dealing with that for 4 days. If something is getting on your nerves, talk about it. The first place that holding in something that is getting on your nerves, it affects your gut. It affects your core. You know what I mean? You know how people say, I got to get something off my chest? It's true. You got to get something off of your chest, off of your stomach. You have to let things out. Be respectful, but don't hold it in. It doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't even benefit the person that you have an issue with, because if you really love that person, you will let them know. I didn't like what you just said. I don't know who that's for, because a lot of us women, we hold stuff back, and then when somebody says hello to you, and you don't like the way they say hello, then you go off, when you really was mad at that person before them. You feel what I'm saying? Hit those heart buttons if you feel what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I cut it real short. Anyway, so we talked about that. What's some other things? Water is awesome. Water, a lot of us, we don't like water, but water is something we have to drink to transport food and stuff through our system so it can come out. A lot of us have gut issues because you are just constipated. You are backed up. You're not going to the bathroom. You're not properly eliminating. And you're going to have gut issues. Your stomach is going to be bloated. Your digestion is going to be off and things like that. You know what I mean? So water helps. I try to do a gallon a day. I heard you're supposed to do a liter every few hours or something. Somebody I was listening to said that. I have a reminder in my phone that tells me it's time to drink water. You would be surprised. You would be doing so much work, you'll even eat and not drink water. I'm not talking about sodas. I'm not talking about juice. I'm not talking about coffees. Which brings me to the next thing. Coffee and caffeine and all of that, they are stimulants. Sodas, teas, coffee, anything with sugar, anything that makes you jolt or you feel like it's going to keep you up, it is actually going to slow your digestion down too, just due to the stress response that we have with caffeine and sugar. It is the enemy. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do a lot of caffeine. I don't do a lot of sugar. My sugar intake is like 0 to none. Honestly, it's been like that for a long time, and I'm thankful. That's why I'm able to do all the things I'm able to do in my life, because I don't do a lot of sugar. However, because I don't do a lot of sugar, in turn, my body will produce a little more stress hormones to get me through. So don't do like me, where I literally cut out sugar from 2006 to 2018. A long time where I didn't eat any kind of sweets. Don't know how I did it. I know how I did it. I burnt myself out. You have to have a balance. I wasn't even doing fruit because I thought that sugar was the enemy, even fruit. So, and the thing, and be honest, if you're cutting down on your sugar intake, you have to be careful about the fruit. So I'm even picky on what type of fruits I eat. I do low glycemic fruits. After I had an endoscopy done due to bad acid reflux, it has now been a whole month. Hold on. Where I am unable to swallow. It feels like something is getting stuck in my throat. You know, you're going through a lot of stress. You know, sometimes, you know, stress will have your thyroid to not work correctly. It'll swell. So usually when you're having problems with swallowing, or you feel something is in your throat, that's where your thyroid is located. It's a butterfly-shaped organ right around this area. So I would really, I mean, if you want to do it the holistic way, you can always talk to me. Go to my link tree, join my group, and I'll do a consultation with you and tell you exactly what you would need to do for that, or get your thyroid levels checked out. Because digestion and thyroid kind of works together. If you're a person who is struggling with losing weight, or you're a person who's struggling with gaining weight, I mean, it's all with the thyroid. So if you're having problems swallowing, that's a thyroid issue. I would get that checked out and find out about what you can do. If you want to do a holistic realm, I'm happy to help you with that as well, because there's some holistic things you can do to get your thyroid working correctly. If anybody else have any questions that's sensible, you can go ahead and type them up and I'll answer them. But if it's something, if you're asking me to rewind, I don't do that. Okay, that's the rewind button for. Also, join my YouTube. My YouTube is actually at my link tree. You can go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you cut the bells on. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, make sure you cut the notifications on so you can actually know when I post. Because if you don't have your notifications on, it's as if you don't subscribe. It's very, very strict nowadays. Got to fight for timeline space. All right. But yeah. I'm chewing gum. Gum chewing is actually therapeutic for people who have issues with digestion. If you don't have issues with digestion, then I would encourage you to do gum. But gum therapy is awesome. It helps you to produce more acid. Now let's talk about the acids in the stomach again. If you're not eating, you don't need the acid. So a lot of us nowadays, we skip meals. We don't eat properly. We don't eat the proper amount of foods and things like that. Or, we don't do our calories. And, I guess we're just eating to live. Your body, your stomach tends to not produce enough acid. If you do not produce enough acid, the food that you eat is just going to sit in your stomach and putrefy and things like that. Like, so if you're belching and you see particles or food just come up, that means you don't digest well. If you see chunks of food in your bathroom experience, not to be graphic, that means that you're not digesting well. Okay? If you're belching and it's a huge odor to it, it smells horrible, it means you're not digesting well. So, personally, I do garlic. I help help myself with garlic. I do ginger. That helps with digestion. Ginger is awesome because it just helps with inflammation. Like my gut will start to inflame if I'm under a lot of stress, if I'm not eating great, if I am holding in issues. It is no warning. That's one thing about the gut. The gut sometimes will inflame and it's no warning. And so, holistically, I am dealing with it, and I would love to help you guys just deal with it holistically. Get you off of the over-the-counter things. Because the over-the-counter has, like Pepto, I'm not putting down anything, but it has dyes in it. It has aluminum. It has all these other things that's in it that is so bad for the body. A lot of the over-the-counter products has other things in it that will counteract what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? It's like an extension of just getting regular prescriptions, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like when you go and get your checkups and things like that, and they give you prescriptions, they're literally just giving you a prescription for one thing. If you have issues with your gut, they're going to just deal with that. They're not going to deal with the underlying problems. That's why I love holistic, because it gets to the base root cause. If you get to the base root cause, then guess what? The whole problem will kind of just dissipate because you've gotten to the base root cause instead of just dealing with the pain of whatever you're going through. Exactly, Sandy. So that's obviously, that means that, they're not digesting well. And I feel sorry for their friends and their family and their husbands and things like that. When you have them know, my husband, at one time, his digestion was horrible. Remember that, Andrew?
You didn't know me then.
No, that was like 3 years ago. And we would be in the car, and he would belch, and and then you have to let the window down. I'm like, oh my gosh, it would smell like bologna, and we don't even eat bologna. And it is what it is. Like, I've always taken cinnamon all my life. I've been taking cinnamon since 2007. So I'm good in that department. That's another thing. Cinnamon is a huge bacteria. It kills bacteria. You know, that's another reason why when you have those problems, you smell, because the bacteria is just horrible in your gut, you know, and it will cause you issues. So, yeah, I've been taking cinnamon forever, and after a while, the cinnamon actually dried me up, and I had to do some other things. So, just understand, anything I say in my videos is not for you to take. You need to have a practitioner to help you and tell you what cinnamon, because it's like 20,000 different cinnamons and things like that, and I know exactly what cinnamon to use. So don't just say, well, let me go ahead and get some cinnamon that's going to help me with digestion. That's not what Jenna said. I do not make any kind of suggestions on these videos. It's just blanket. I'm just talking. If you want something one-on-one, you can go to my link tree listed below, and we can talk there. Get a consultation for $40. $40 will be good for 1 year. I'm giving away for 1 year, not 1 month, 1 year. What's it take for your belly? I have a big belly. Are you pregnant? See, that's the thing. That's why I always like to talk to you guys. I have a big belly. Are you pregnant? You have liver disease? Are you just, you know, sitting there eating bonbons and donuts all day? I don't know you like that to tell you what to take. I don't know you like that. So I would never tell somebody what to do, because, you know, because a big belly is like 3,000 different things why you have a big belly. Are you big in the bottom half of your belly? Are you big in the top half? Because your bottom half is reproductive organs. Your top half is your stomach and your liver. I can't just give you information just because you said you have a big belly. Okay? Do understand that. These videos are not to diagnose or anything like that. If you really want help, please pay the $40. It's good for a year. You get consultations and access to me all year to ask me these questions, and I'll let you know exactly what to do. Okay, let's see. Besides, if I don't like, let's just keep this real. If somebody walked up to you and they didn't know nothing about you and they told you to take something, would you take it? Are we in that type of industry where you guys will act? I guess we are, because you guys are very highly medicated, aren't you? That's another thing. If you are a highly medicated person, you're going to be very dry on the inside. Just understand that when you're highly medicated, it literally dries out every orifice in your body. It makes you all over the place. It dries your brain out. That's why a lot of people who are highly medicated, if you will, are crazy. They're in jail right now because they're highly medicated. Get off of the highly medications. Get off of it. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but it's somebody in here who have problems, addictions. That's another reason why digestion is tampered with nowadays. A lot of people are addicted. You're either addicted to your cell phone, you're addicted to certain foods, you're addicted to adrenaline, you're addicted to sugar, you're addicted to some medications. And I just speak that over. I speak life over you guys. I pray that whatever addiction that you're going through right now, I pray that it comes off of you, because addictions is the road to problems. Trust me. I don't give a darn what they're saying. I'm addicted to money. I'm addicted to men. It doesn't, any addiction is negative. Get rid of it. Even if you're addicted to work, work will be there. Calm yourself down. It's okay. You know what I mean? So get rid of the addictions as well. Addictions to feeling good. The body is not meant to be feel good all the time. And a lot of us are just chasing to feel good every day. You get what I'm saying? If somebody asks, what's my addiction? I guess I don't have addictions. I have Jesus. See, when you have the Lord in your life, you don't allow addictions to take over you. You get what I'm saying? You just don't do that. When you have the Lord in your life. In fact, I have had the Lord in my life for years, and I can honestly say I haven't been addicted to anything. My husband's been with me for 17 years, and he stuck me with somebody who doesn't have addictions. My husband used to smoke. When he was ready to stop smoking, he stopped smoking cigarettes just like that. He was never addicted. Addictions are serious. It's an issue. It's an illness. It's never good. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not addicted to money. I'm not addicted to physical intimacy. I'm not addicted to anything. You know what I mean? I don't even think the Lord requires us to be addicted to him. It's just something you have to do. It's just something we're built to do every day, and that's just to be with him. You know what I mean? I don't think you're even supposed to be addicted to the Lord. Just do it. It's just a part of you. You feel me? So yeah. If I got on your nerves with that addiction thing, then stop being addicted to whatever you're addicted to, sir or ma'am. It's just that simple. Okay? Babe, I got on somebody's nerves. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for friends. I'm not here for that. I'm here to do what God tells me to do, which is send a message. And addictions are something that we all have to get rid of at one time. And if you don't have one, thank the Lord. I don't have an addiction. I can honestly say that. And if you don't have an addiction, that's fine. Because addictions will get you in trouble. It really will. Let's see. What else? I think I've talked on a lot of things today. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns, guys? Any more questions? I can take a few more. Somebody said, did you say something about gas? I got off the phone. Well, if you got off the phone, then that means whatever was on the phone was more important than this darn video. I don't repeat myself. Okay. Let's see. Oh, if you are on medications, okay, medications, you have to follow the directions on the bottle. And I'm not a medication girl. I'm not saying, but I have to talk this because a lot of medications that we take today are ruining our gut, ruining our system, especially if you are not taking it well. Even your supplements, if you are not taking your supplements correctly, smoothie on deck with C, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and delete what you said, Miss CMOS. See you later. You type one more thing and you just won't be able to type. Okay, we don't care about your CMOS and your sugar and all of that. That works for you. But more than likely, you get a lot of infections, don't you? Don't you? Because you got all that sugar up in them smoothies. Huh? You so smooth that you stink sometimes, don't you? See, make sure you don't put anything up on my screen. Okay? Those girls who sip on all those smoothies every day get yeast infections 3-4 times a month. They're trying to go out and buy all kinds of soaps because they're full of odors. Stop eating all that sugar. Sugar's not good. Even the fruit. Be careful about all that fruit you eat, sis. Yeah. And CMOS ain't for everybody. Do y'all know what CMOS is? Stop getting on the bandwagon. See, a lot of you guys are bandwagoners. You know what bandwagon is? Okay, so this is what a bandwagon is. If I came on here and I just said, look, I take this, and this is what happened. I got this, and this, and I feel good, and this. You know what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna buy it. Y'all gonna buy it just because my big face is on this camera and I said it worked for me. You didn't ask no questions. You don't know who I am. You don't know if I'm even telling the truth, do you? You just gonna take it because I said it works. Stop doing that because everybody is different. And a lot of you guys are not taking proper doses. So these things that people are suggesting that you take, you don't take it correctly. And then you have adverse problems. Like all of these detox teas that are going around. Do you know what a lot of those detox teas are doing? They're dehydrating you. And if you're dehydrated, you're going to have gut issues. There are some people who basically when you're going ahead and you're taking detox teas, which to be honest, it makes you go to the bathroom. You're going to have diarrhea. And then your body is not going to be able to go to the bathroom on its own. That's why laxatives, and that's what those detox teas are. They're basically laxatives, but they're not saying that. They're not telling you the truth. And then you're like, hey, I lost 5 pounds. Yeah, you lost 5 pounds of all your good minerals, water, and maybe some food contents that was stuck in your gut for days. But as far as you lost 5 pounds of fat or anything like that, of course not. Because as soon as you start eating, the weight is going to come back on. You got to be educated. Okay? if you're using things that are not regular or not natural to help you go to the bathroom, your body is going to be like, well, fine, you don't need me to work, so I'm not going to work for you. And then you're stuck on these things. So be careful about all the smoothies that you're eating and all these sea mosses and all the other stuff, gluten berry and bury this and bury that. And be careful of that, because you're going to have some issues in the long run about it. See, what I'm talking about is the slow and steady. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about something that's going to work in 5 minutes. No. I'm talking about a lifestyle change. That's what I'm talking about. And, you know, I just want people to just not, like, type stuff like that on my screen, because I have a lot of people, a lot of us today are gullible. We just, for the most part, we just believe anything someone says. I like you to be educated. Everything I'm saying, you can actually go and research it yourself and find if it's true. You know, I'm just giving information. I ain't telling you to buy nothing. The only thing I'm telling you to, if you want my services, to go purchase my services. But I'm not pushing no products, because anybody who pushes a whole bunch of products on you, they're just basically wanting to make money. I'm just keeping it 100. Am I hating? No, I'm just stating facts. That's why I said I'm not going to come on here and try to push no products, because the information is something you can take forever. Once you get the information, and that's what I give, you can keep that forever. But products, you constantly got to be in there. Am I right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, people who sell certain products, they just want you to always need their product. So basically, I'm teaching a man to fish instead of giving you one. Do you guys feel me on that? Very biblical here. So there you go. Am I a licensed nutritionist? No, I'm a holistic practitioner. Yeah, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, senior cosmetologist, and I am a holistic practitioner. That's what I am. And so the thing about it is, no, you don't have to be licensed to know what I know. You know what I mean? I'm humbled on saying that. Not putting down nutritionists, not putting down anybody like that. But there's space for me too, which is a holistic practitioner. I've been studying this for a long time, over 10 plus years. And I just, you know, that's what I do. Okay? Does anybody have any other questions, guys? This has been a great video. You know, I like to come from different avenues. The diet, the lifestyle, your spiritual and your mental health. It's very important. Who in here is struggling with some type of mental decline? Anybody? Just say me. It's okay. We all are. You know, life happens. Life happens. People come, people go. Finances change. Situations change. But the way God has built us is for that our internal space is supposed to be, for the most part, the same. No matter what's going on around you, whether it's bad, whether it's good, you are supposed to stay steady. And a lot of us, we're not able to do that because of our diet and because of our lifestyle. Okay? So even if something, you know, some things have happened to me in the last few months. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that because I'm not a person who has addictions, I'm not a person who looks at food as something that's going to help me to get better as far as like this negative food that we eat. You know, a lot of us, the comfort foods, unfortunately, are foods that are not going to make you comfortable in the long run. I've never been that type of person and don't plan to be. I was able to get through some tough times. And so a lot of us were not able to get through those tough times because of the things that we choose to put in our bodies. And so when the gut is not good, when your digestion is not well, it is going to affect your brain. It's going to affect your mental. What is services? What is, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and delete your 5th grade comment. Anyway, yeah, if you have any kind of typos on my screen, you're not going to make me read like I don't have an education. Okay, that's been my saying since 2016, and it gets on people's nerves. I don't care. I don't care if it gets on your nerves. Edit your comments before you deliver them. That way, when I read them, I can read them with class instead of looking like an illiterate person. Okay? All right. So yeah, mental health is very, very important, guys. It's very, very important. And it relays on your diet. Okay? I'm just saying, a person who is eating apples and eating fruits and salads and eating a little bit of meat and staying away from the beef. See, the thing about it is this. I'm not putting down red meat. 30 years ago, red meat was probably okay. Back when grandma was making it. And even then, we didn't eat beef every day. Who in here eats red meat every day? Anybody? Is anybody still eating red meat on a daily in this day and age? I just want to know. Even if you don't tell me, I'm going to talk about it. If you're eating red meat every day, you're going to have some colon issues when you get older. It's just bound to happen. And I said colon issues. I speak life, but I also speak truth. And this is to help whomever is eating red meat every day to understand why I'm saying this. Red meat stays in the system. It putrefies. It basically, our bodies are not really built to break it down. Okay? It takes literally 5 to 7 days for beef to completely eliminate through the system. So if you're eating it all of the time, like a lot of people, we get involved in the status symbol. Who in here knows what status means? Eating a steak means that you got money. Having a what's that car? Corvette, that means you have money. And people will actually buy into having statuses to live their life. Okay? So red meat, eating a steak does not mean you're rich. You don't have to eat a steak to look good. You know what I mean? Stop eating all those steaks. Stop eating all of that beef. It's just not good. Don't do it. Seafood. Our bodies are not even good, wasn't even built to eat seafood. The only thing that keeps me in my days now from eating shrimp is because I know the word, and I know that God says don't eat anything without scales. That's the only reason why I don't eat shrimp. So everything that I'm saying here to you is only because I know this is just how you're supposed to live, and this is how the body works. It just works better without these things in it. Trust and believe me, I'm going to say this. If I could eat beef every day and eat shrimp and have ice cream and cake and all of that, I would do it. I would. Who wouldn't? You know, the life that I live is very strict. I was telling my husband today, it seems like the people who actually eat unhealthy are skinny, and the people who eat healthy are kind of not skinny, if you will. You know? That's why sometimes you can't look at a person and, you know, say because they're big that they don't eat healthy. There are some underlying things that are going on. Like to the person who is saying, who asked earlier about services for weight loss. Weight loss is a science. I wouldn't even trust anybody who's saying, take this pill and you'll lose weight. Take this tea and you'll lose weight. I mean, losing weight is literally different I feel, for everybody. You have to figure out your weight, your body type. I'm an empath. I don't know if that's technically a body type, but it's certainly a mental type. And if you are an empath like myself, if you don't know what empath means, Google it. You take on a lot of people's stress. You're a naturally caring person. If you hear a bad story, it's like it happened to you. That's definitely me. Who can identify with that? If you are an empath, you're going to be overweight because stress makes you fat. You have to learn how to care for people without taking on their problems. You have to be able to hear a story and not allow it to make you depressed. So in that I'm not that strong, I just basically dictate what I'm going to hear every day, if you will. If you're a fast-paced person and you're a person who really doesn't let things get to you, more than likely you have a smaller body type. And I'm just saying that because this is what I have gathered throughout my life and what I've seen in other people. That yeah, if you're just a real emotional person, you're going to be a little bit more fat. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Baby, what you think about that?
Well, you know, she
Yeah. So the issue with this, if you are overweight, and I'm talking to people who are overweight now, but you literally eat salads, you're very conscious about what you eat, there's something else going on. And we can talk about that in the group, okay? Something else is definitely going on, because you don't even want to know what I do personally. And I'm not real big. I've lost weight. I've lost a lot of weight over my years. Thank God. I was looking at some pictures of me just 10 years ago, thanks to Facebook's memories. They keep you in there. And I was like, wow. And so if you're a person who's struggling with your weight, just understand, look at some old photos of you. You may see that you actually came a long way. Weight loss will come with the correct conditions, not just diet. I wish it was just diet and exercise, but it's not. It's other things that go in there. And you want to be a size for you, not something that somebody else says is beautiful, not losing weight to please others. You really want to be a size that makes you feel good and makes you feel confident within yourself, because it's really about you. It's not about anybody else. I had to get to that mindset for myself, okay? My weight, how I feel is number one. It doesn't matter how other people feel about me. I used to be conscious about that. I used to do these videos and I was at least a good 40, 50 pounds heavier, and I was promoting health even in that stage. Because God says, I want you to go in here and make these videos. But I'm like, hey, I'm not skinny. I'm not muscular. I'm not the picture perfect of health. And God was like, I don't care. Because to be honest, people listen to me because I look like them. I'm not, what you're looking at is something that's obtainable. I'm not up here on my high horse. I struggle with weight. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I struggle with high blood pressure. I've struggled with